We would not be able to function without your support. God bless us all. Restored Republic via GCR, update as of January 2, 2024. The latest video will be shown earlier at the official website restoredrepublic.co. Judy note, Deep State starting another war, with 56 naval warships sitting in the Red Sea. The UK is ready to launch air strikes at Israel after missile from Yemen strikes merchant vessel in Red Sea. Tsunami warning in Japan after a 7.6 earthquake hit, and in 2 hours 40 earthquakes followed, a believed result of Japan's rejection of Rothschild/Davos Group place leaders while cleaning up country and making a secret deal with Russia over resources and oil. Deep State testing to create biggest earthquakes in U.S. history down West Coast from Canada, to California, to Mexico. Pro-Hamas group attempts to down civilian aircraft in NYC. High viral levels of COVID in the water supply. COVID vaccine now known to increase danger of cancer. Global currency reset, everything is done. The World Court is going over the legalities to be finalized properly between nations according to common law before releasing gold/asset-backed currencies that would trade at a 1-to-1 with each other. Cabal's Great Reset, the Cabal plan for the Federal Reserve Bank Term Funding Program, BTFP, to expire on March 12, 2024 in order to create a major banking crisis that would open the door for their Great Reset of digital fiat currency so they could control your bank account, and life. On Tuesday, December 26, 2024 Jazzara was softly announced publicly to select media outlets through the Starlink satellite system, which made it legal. A global currency reset, everything is done. There is no kicking the can, no delays. The process is slow because of the legalities. The World Court is going over the paperwork. The military is waiting on the World Court for all legalities to be finalized properly between nations according to common law. On Monday 1st of January the fiat US petrodollar collapsed, would no longer be used for international trade, became illegal in Iraq and would be illegal everywhere else as of after February 20, 2024. On Monday, January 1, 2024 the global currency reset was believed to have taken place with the new gold asset/backed U.S. notes put in U.S. ATMs. Monday, January 1, 2024 marks, a lot of banking contacts are thinking we will see solid movement by the 2nd today on the 1st is a holiday and they are consolidating and moving things together, meaning possible announcements. There is a lot of fantastic chatter on what is going to happen in the next 24 hours or so. On Tuesday, 2nd of January the new gold/asset-backed U.S. note should be available to the general public and Tier 4B might possibly begin exchange/redemption appointments. The new currency rates were presently trading on the Forex and going up and down in value. Those new rates were international rates that the general public would be given if they exchanged foreign currency at a bank. On Tuesday, December 26, 2024 Jazzara was softly announced publicly to select media outlets through the Starlink satellite system, which made it legal. Jazzara has started between all governments worldwide. Nizara is now liquid under the USN. The money is flowing. Social Security will no longer exist, having been replaced by Nizara. If those in Tier 4B, us, the Internet Group, obtained an appointment to exchange at an official redemption center they will be offered higher exchange rates. B. Global financial crisis, major lender massive data breach, 14 million Social Security numbers exposed. Tehran, January 1, MNA, the BRICS group of emerging economies has welcomed 2024 by officially adding 5 developing nations. Specifically, the bloc introduced Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates, UAE, Iran, Egypt, and Ethiopia to kick off the new year. Iran officially becomes BRICS member in 2024. The Cabal plan for expiration of the Bank Term Funding Program, BTFP, by the Federal Reserve on March 12, 2024. At that point they would have created a major banking crisis that would lead to big banks acquiring smaller banks. They also would have created ideal conditions for quick implementation of a U.S. central bank fiat digital currency where they could control everyone's bank accounts and lives. The global currency reset on Monday, January 1, 2024 changed all that as major countries of the world stopped use of the fiat US petrodollar and traded such for gold/asset-backed currencies of their own sovereign countries. See Restored Republic, Monday, January 1, 2024 Intel, Ward, Johnson, Mahoney, True, Demi, Ariel on the Cabal. Old habits die hard. They lost Iraq, Ukraine, Israel, Iran and they are about to lose Taiwan. Now they lost the very thing these countries need to keep the cabal in power through oil trade contracts denominated in dollars that officially dies tomorrow. Is this why Iraq is waiting to pull the trigger? Well, if that is the case, we are on our way to see freedom and liberation not only in America but across the world. The real news for Monday, January 1, 2024, Monday 1st of January. Japan was issued a major tsunami warning after a 7.6 earthquake hit the central region. Japan had over 40 earthquakes in 2 hours. Monday, January 1, 2024. Germany, riots and anarchy spread across Germany again on New Year's Eve, making the major cities no-go areas for women, Jews, and gays. Gaddafi was a legend who wanted to save humanity from the Jews, but he was killed for it. Monday, January 1, 2024, WikiLeaks releases cut film of moon landing filmed in the Nevada desert. Smithsonian Institution admits to destroying thousands of giant skeletons. The institute has admitted destroying thousands of giant human skeletons in the early 1900s. The U.S. Supreme Court has ordered the Smithsonian Institution to release classified documents dating back to the early 1900s proving that the organization participated in a major historical cover-up of evidence showing that giant human remains in the tens of thousands were found across America, and destroyed at the behest of high-ranking officials to protect the prevailing chronology of human evolution that existed at the time. Guy makes portal in his room. Portals are open through sound frequencies. When two chords resonate in octaves, they create a phantom beat or a resonant energy that can open portals. This is how the pyramids would function. They dispersed a frequency into the ionic sphere using monoatomic gold as a superconductor as a smart dust to transfer the information at the speed of light. The Great Pyramid of Giza emits the frequency of 432 Hz. Other pyramids have different frequencies. And they set on ley lines. If they started to resonate, it would also activate our chakras, our crystalline body would be activated. Because the pyramids are aligned to the constellations, we would sing in harmony with the universe. Monday, January 1, 2024. Vigilant News, Media Blackout, 10 news stories they chose not to tell you this week. Number 10, Paramedic drops alarming revelations on COVID vaccine distribution. Number 9, toxic seed oils pose one of the greatest threats to human health over the past 100 years. Number 8, Donald Trump predicts Biden won't be the Democrat nominee in 2024. Number 7, an entirely new blue screen of death begins appearing in people's cars. Number 6, COVID vaccines can worsen cancer, according to new peer-reviewed analysis. Number 5, major retailers suddenly begin selling gold amid concerns of financial collapse. Number 4, Tucker Carlson unleashes on Ben Shapiro, says he doesn't care about America. Number 3, the CDC gets exactly what it wanted for Christmas, high viral levels of COVID in the water supply. Number 2, illegal immigrants with anchor babies use more welfare than U.S. citizens. Number 1, the majority of Americans are now worried about COVID-19 vaccine safety. Wars and rumors of wars. Monday, January 1, 2024. A total of 56 naval warships are in and around Yemen and the Red Sea. Monday, 1st of January. Red Sea War. Missile from Yemen strikes merchant vessel in Red Sea. UK ready to launch airstrikes at Israel after Red Sea attack. White Hat Intel. Earthquake wars. Japan earthquake comes after Japan rejects Rothschild and Davos Group place leaders in Japan is cleaning their country and making a secret deal with Russia over resources and oil. The deep state is testing to create the biggest earthquakes in U.S. history down the west coast from Canada, to California, to Mexico. The biggest event is slated for California. Deep Dark OPS with DARPA, CIA, etc. HARP DNC Deep State are planning the largest earthquake in U.S. history to help stall elections, bring in mass panic. MSM wants to control the news cycle and new immediate laws installed that are connected to internet disinformation control and hundreds and billions to steal from taxpayers. This massive earthquake will connect to global climate agenda. The same earthquake war event was slated for Europe. The White Hats are going public to expose weather weapons on a major scale. International child sex trafficking, organ and adrenochrome harvesting ring run out of the Vatican and housed in China's Three Gorges Dam in the 1,500-mile tunnel that runs between the Vatican and Jerusalem. Curious old SNL clips emerge of The Rock joking about child molestation and pizza. The Vatican has been found to be a human trafficking hub and the Vatican underground tunnel has been cleared. The Dulce Base underground tunnel cleared. The Area 51 underground base tunnel cleared, Orion Group, defeated, Chakar Group, defeated, Kili Tokert Group, defeated. In 2013 the Vatican, global elites were found guilty of child sacrifice. Clones, the CIA is connected to the Kili Tokert ops. They are the one who specialize in soul scalping. This is how our government leaders were replaced. Removing the light body and soul and replacing it with a physical vessel void of any connection to source. Sherry Shriner covered this in many videos/audios. Megan Rose spoke about this in one of her books. Guess what was the capital for the child sex trafficking breeding hub? The Vatican. A report came out in July of 2019 where thousands of bones was unearthed in 2 ossuaries discovered in the Vatican City, as part of an ongoing search for clues into the disappearance of a 15-year-old girl more than 3 decades ago in 1983. A mass grave full of baby bones was found along the shores of Israel's Mediterranean coast, in the ancient seaport of Ashkelon in 2014. An indigenous group said the remains of as many as 751 people, mainly children, had been found in unmarked graves on the site of a former boarding school in Saskatchewan. There was a 2,300-page document that leaked that verified Pope Francis' cover-up of a Vatican pedophile ring. Did you know 20 Chilean priests who went public on their connection to that very same pedophile ring, were killed in a plane crash right after their meeting with Pope Francis? Back on July 20, 2014 the International Common Law Court of Justice in Brussels found defendants Pope Francis Bergoglio, Catholic Jesuit Superior General Adolfo Packin and Archbishop of Canterbury Justin Welby guilty of rape, torture, murder and the trafficking of children. Nothing is happening, I highly doubt it. 2 adolescent women told the Eichelt court that Pope Francis raped them while participating in child sacrifices during the springs of 2009 and 2010 in rural Holland and Belgium. According to a former employee of the Curia in Rome, rapes and murders of children also took place at the Carnarvon Castle in Wales and an undisclosed French chateau. A prosecutor introduced notarized affidavits by 8 others claiming to witness these same crimes organized by the Vatican. Another witness testified that they were present during meetings with the then Argentine priest and Bishop Francis and the military junta during Argentine's 1970s dirty war. According to the witness, Francis helped traffic 30,000 children of missing political prisoners into the Vatican pedophile ring. Do you all see what we were up against? Do you know why this has taken so long? If you knew how vast these underground tunnels are, you would understand why certain deals signed by Trump kept getting extensions. The military at some point will disclose the battles that went underground. The weapons used, the strategies used, the entries/exits used. The medical technology used. The portals/gateways that were used. You got a glimpse of this during the fight that went on underground with the Phil Schneider lectures that still can be found on YouTube about the Dulce extraterrestrial confrontation that resulted in lives being lost and him being scarred from it. People are only looking at the human aspect of this process. They are not looking at this as government's officials serving an unknown species that want world dominion, who is an entire different secret government whose base are in these dumps deep underground military bases, who control all of our 3-letter agencies, who are middlemen/conduits who these covert species use to control Washington. Military operation with USSF and white hats in the intelligence will show clear corruption of AI systems corrupting the digital voting systems. In the coming future tribunals coming imminently, Microsoft, the #1 corporation in the world, will collapse and Musk is expected to buy out the company. Great move by the White Hats. Thank you Ezra Cash. Trump, USSF and Microsoft will admit their part in a military coup and corruption in compliance with CIA and DARPA. Musk X and Truth Alliance news source Tucker will help expose the corruption, and over a 1.5 billion digital warriors of the Great Awakening will spread the messages through the world. The death of the mainstream media will begin in 2024. iCovid/Ebola/swine flu/polio/smallpox/BSE, Zika/SARS/monkeypox/AIDS/Vax/H1N1/graphene oxide/chemtrails/fluoride, processed foods, human clones hoaxes. International Crisis Summit, the vax has killed 17 million people worldwide. Lara Logan on fire, they lied about COVID, they lied about Russian collusion, impeachment, and it goes on. We're constantly being lied to on an epic scale, and Ukraine is at the center of it all. Now they're doing it again. Monday, January 1, 2024 Fox News, Dr. Ben Carson says kids should absolutely not get COVID shots. California kicks off 2024 with the return of mask mandates. 1976 till 2023 equals 47 years ago the cure of cancer was discovered. Why would the cabal want to heal people? Depopulation program of humanity in the world. In 1880 was the first publicly sold bottle of Coca-Cola. For its first 17 years of existence it has also contained cocaine, thus the name Coca-Cola. It was so effective that it quickly got millions of people addicted, and I wouldn't be surprised if it still contains that secret ingredient. Fully vaccinated develop early onset arthritis. 70% of deceased vaccine patients experienced blood clots, emphasizing concerns about the health risks associated with vaccinations. Voter fraud. President Trump, as the new year fast approaches, I would like to wish an early New Year's salutation to crook Joe Biden and his group of radical left misfits and thugs on their never-ending attempt to destroy our nation through lawfare, invasion, and rigging elections. They are now scrambling to sign up as many of those millions of people they are illegally allowing into our country, in order that they will be ready to vote in the presidential election of 2024. The Luciferian Deep State Cabal. Luciferian billionaire David Rockefeller states that controlling the world population growth is the elite's top agenda. He thinks him and his rich Illuminati Chewit buddies have the right to mass murder most of the population to have the planet to themselves. The disappearance of 4 members of a patent semiconductor traveling on Malaysia Airlines MH370 makes the famous billionaire Jacob Rothschild the sole owner of the important patent. As long as the Davos Party exists, there won't be a single safe day for humanity. The Davos Party makes up just 1,000 people. They are people with ability to influence a country's politics and military. They must have wealth that can influence the destinies of millions of people. They cooperate with the authorities and have the blood of many on their hands. BQQM, Benjamin Netanyahu to Barack Obama: you are the great Satan and we are the little Satan, we are you and you are us. Monday, January 1, 2024. Charlie Ward. Long ago the White Hats had game theory operations in place to counter the deep state plans. These game theory operations included turning LGBTQ, Black Lives Matter, Antifa and the woke liberals against Biden and moreover the elites of the Davos deep state plans. The LGBTQ, Antifa, Black Lives Matter and liberal woke communities are simultaneously rejecting the wars, including the new war in Israel, and turning against the deep state Obama/Biden/CIA psychological operations. The woke and liberals are preparing to stage the largest massive protest and riots against the Biden-forced military draft that is expected to place in 2024. This massive revolt will connect to military leaks of 2024 and major exposure of the CIA corruption in unison with the military-industrial complex systems and intentional warmongering. These exposures will connect to U.S. military corruption connected to the highest military leaders. In this moment there are huge military investigations taking place connecting the U.S. military to bribes, money laundering, blackmail networks, human trafficking rings and much more. The year of 2024 is headed for an all-out exposure of the United States' corrupted systems in all 3 branches. The powerful events of 2024 are slated with the strikes of the century that will trend with European revolt against the digital currency deep state takeover, inside of Europe. The military White Hats are going to leak full corruption of the CIA, NATO war plans and full agenda of the Ukraine monetary corruption and laundering systems, bribe systems. A new exposure of the vaccines deaths cover-up to COVID-19 lies and pushed agenda by the Davos Gates. CIA is going to hit the EU countries, inviting including the World Sex Trafficking Trade / Plus. From Canada to the US to the UK to Europe and beyond, the woke, liberals and extremist leftists will begin their revolt against the democratic systems and European elites, DS, military intelligence and against the deep state regimen in their countries. Inside of Europe, the deep state central digital banking currency control will face one EU's biggest revolts in 2024. A continuous exposure of massive corruption and digital control with obvious censorship tied to digital banking and elite control will trigger the European strike wars, massive strikers against the government and banking / Watcher GER 2023 recap. U.S. judge rules XRP is not a security. $10 trillion asset manager BlackRock officially files for a spot Bitcoin and Ethereum ETF. BlackRock CEO says crypto is digital gold and Bitcoin is an international asset. Sam Bankman-Fried found guilty on all charges. Elon Musk tells advertisers who are trying to blackmail him to go fuck yourself. Russia to use Chinese yuan instead of US dollars to settle trade with Asia, Africa, and Latin America. Fed Chair Jerome Powell says crypto appears to have staying power as an asset class. Changpeng Zhao, CZ, resigns as Binance CEO. Coinbase relists Ripple XRP. Chinese yuan overtakes US dollar as most used currency in China's cross-border transactions for the first time in history. Saudi Arabia enters trade alliance with China, Russia, India, Pakistan, and 4 Central Asian nations to step further away from reliance on the US dollar. Argentina President Javier Milei plans to replace the peso with the US dollar and shut down the central bank. Turkish crypto exchange CEO sentenced to 11,196 years in prison for stealing $2 billion in customer funds. SEC drops lawsuit against XRP executives. Crypto asset manager Grayscale wins lawsuit against SEC. Coinbase sues the SEC, seeking regulatory clarity for the crypto industry. El Salvador president officially signs bill eliminating all taxes on income, property, and capital gains for technology innovations. Hong Kong court recognizes cryptocurrencies as property. Chinese property giant Evergrande files for bankruptcy. Terra founder Do Kwon arrested in Montenegro. U.S. government arrests SafeMoon founders John Carney, Kyle Nagy, and Thomas Smith. BlackRock names JP Morgan as an authorized participant for its spot Bitcoin ETF. UK government plans to establish new digital asset legislation and make the country a crypto hub. The latest video will be shown earlier at the official website restoredrepublic.co. Thanks for your support. Visit restoredrepublic.co for the latest and earliest videos. Become our monthly supporter by clicking the Give and Go link below each video. Our content is restricted by many social media platforms and payment gateways, so we are very